Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amanda. I've been teaching English to foreign students now for a number of years. If you would like to learn more or have one-to-one lessons with me, then I've provided a link in the description box below that will give you a special deal on English lessons, so please check that out. So today we're going to continue with our 8-week challenge on the 8 parts of speech. And we're going to talk about prepositions. So let's dive straight in. Watch out, there's a shark. Where? Behind you. Oh, thank goodness for prepositions. Can you imagine not knowing where the danger lay? So prepositions tell us when or where something is in relation to something else. When a shark is approaching, it's good to have these special words to tell us where those scary creatures are. Are they behind us or in front of us? Will it eat me in 5 seconds or in 2 minutes? Prepositions often tell us where one noun is in relation to another. So the book is on the shelf beside you. The book is on the shelf beside you. They can also indicate more abstract ideas, such as purpose or contrast. So I went out for a run despite the rain. I went out for a run despite the rain. Prepositions are small and can be a tricky area of grammar to master. Because they're usually small, many of my students find them easy to forget, or they just leave them out altogether. Unfortunately, there's no formula for them, and each preposition and use just needs to be learned. There are around 150 prepositions, and you can find plenty of lists of these on the internet. We use prepositions more frequently than any other individual word, so it's worth putting in the effort. So some of the most commonly used ones that you may already know are above, below, underneath, between, near, to, of, despite, just to name a few. Now, we commonly use prepositions to show the relationship in space or time between two or more people, places, or things. They're most commonly followed by a noun phrase or pronoun. For example, the last time I saw her, she was jogging down the street. The last time I saw her, she was jogging down the street. I'll meet you in the small restaurant opposite the Opera House. I'll meet you in the small restaurant opposite the Opera House. It was the worst hurricane in Britain since the 90s. It was the worst hurricane in Britain since the 90s. Give that to me. Give that to me. Now there are 5 types of prepositions. We have simple prepositions, double prepositions, compound prepositions, participle prepositions, and phrase prepositions. So let's start with simple prepositions. These are common prepositions used to describe a location, time, or place. These are words like at, for, in, off, on, over and under, etc. So you could say, the little boy sat on the wall. The little boy sat on the wall. The cat was hiding under the table. The cat was hiding under the table. She lives near her workplace. She lives near her workplace. Okay, so now let's look at double prepositions. A double preposition is made by combining 2 simple prepositions together. These prepositions often indicate direction. So these are words like into, upon, onto, out of, etc. For example, once upon a time, there was a handsome prince. Once upon a time, there was a handsome prince. The puppy climbed onto my lap. The puppy climbed onto my lap. He would never leave the house without his mobile phone. He would never leave the house without his mobile phone. Okay, so next we have compound prepositions. Do you know what these are? Compound prepositions are made up with the combination of a non-prepositional word and a simple preposition. Some examples of compound prepositions are, for instance, Mary sat across from Christopher. Mary sat across from Christopher. Tom will be taking the lead part in the show in place of Peter. Tom will be taking the lead part in the show in place of Peter. In addition to getting soaked through, the little boy was covered in mud. In addition to getting soaked through, the little boy was covered in mud. Okay, now for participle prepositions. What are these? Participle prepositions have endings such as ed and ing. Here the words act as a verb as well as a preposition. Words like considering, provided, following, including, etc. Let's look at participle prepositions in a sentence. So the dog kept following him all the way home. The dog kept following him all the way home. Every detail regarding the meeting was true. Every detail regarding the meeting was true. You will succeed provided that you work hard. You will succeed provided that you work hard. Okay, and finally we have prepositional phrases. So what are these? A prepositional phrase, simply put, consists of one preposition and its object. It can also include, if necessary, any word that modifies the object. The object can be a noun, a pronoun, a gerund, which is a verb ending in ing that acts as a noun, or a clause. For example, a town near London. A town near London. He acts without thinking. He acts without thinking. It's a present from her. It's a present from her. Is she really going out with that guy? Is she really going out with that guy? Prepositional phrases function as either adjectives modifying nouns or adverbs modifying verbs. So first of all, let's look at examples of prepositional phrases functioning as an adjective modifying a noun. Do you mean the plant in the corner? Do you mean the plant in the corner? I know the policeman with the radio. I know the policeman with the radio. Here, the prepositional phrases are functioning as adjectives. They are modifying the nouns, the plant and the policeman. Now let's look at some examples of prepositional phrases functioning as an adverb modifying a verb. For instance, I live near the park. I live near the park. He speaks with great enthusiasm. He speaks with great enthusiasm. Here, the prepositional phrases are acting as adverbs modifying the verbs live and speaks. As I said before, prepositions can be a tricky area for students to get their heads around. It just takes a bit of practice. I've actually done another separate video on prepositions of time and place, which you may find useful with lots of examples, so please watch that one too for more detail on that. Well, that's it. So now you know about prepositions. And next week we will talk about conjunctions. Don't forget to press both of those like and subscribe buttons below so you get notified when the next video is released. As always, to accompany this video, I've prepared some notes which you can download. So you just need to click on the link below in the description box and you can download it straight away. See you next time.